You ever hear a story where the scariest part isn't what you saw, but what you didn't? That's what this one is. Because it isn't about blood, or screams, or some great act of violence. It's about absence. Pure and complete, like someone reached in and pulled a man straight out of the world without even leaving the door open behind them. Hey there, tonight I want to tell you about a man named Ronald Blake. 58 years old, former Marine, steady hands, kept his boots clean and his word cleaner. He worked the overnight shift at a gold mining site in the Yukon Basin, a place so far north you could walk 2 hours in any direction and hit nothing but snow and silence. Ronald had been with the company 4 years, guarded the front gates, watched over the machinery yard, walked the perimeter fence every 2 hours. He liked the solitude, said it gave him time to think, to breathe. And then one night he was just gone. It was March 12th. The air was so cold it hurt to breathe. The wind was low, the moon was sharp. Ronald reported for duty at 6:45 p.m., clocked in, checked his flashlight, logged the first perimeter sweep at 8:01. Everything normal. At 10 West Tours, he sent a message to the site foreman. Said the generator lights on the west end were flickering. Nothing serious, just a wiring quirk. The reply came back, logged, thanks. That would be the last message Ronald ever sent. At 12:03 a.m., the control center noticed something strange. Camera 7, watching the southwest fence, froze for 3 seconds. When the feed came back, Ronald was gone. It wasn't sudden. There was no movement, no blur, no sign of a person walking away. One frame he was there, standing near the snow berm, hand on his belt, looking toward the trees. Next frame, nothing. And then one by one, cameras 6, 8, and 3 began to cut out. No alarm, no static, just blackout. By 12:17, the entire west side of the camera grid was dark. At 12:19, the motion detector by the access tunnel triggered, then immediately reset, as if nothing had passed at all. By morning, the relief crew showed up. They expected Ronald by the gates. He wasn't there. His coat was still in the office. His radio was charging. His coffee mug, half full, still warm, sat on the desk. They assumed he was out walking the perimeter. But when they checked the sweep log, there was no record of his final check. The gates were still locked. The keypad still logged under his ID. No signs of forced entry, no footprints outside the compound. And the strangest part? The gate's internal backup camera, the one no one ever bothers with, had been physically unplugged. The only camera with a direct line of sight to the rear slope, disabled by hand. Search teams were called. They swept the site, dug through snowbanks, checked the shafts, even brought in cadaver dogs. Nothing. It was as if Ronald had walked into thin air. And then they opened the security logbook. His last entry, written just before midnight. Fence line looks clean, but something's wrong. The trees feel closer than they were yesterday. Ronald's family was notified. His daughter flew in from Alberta. She stayed in the site trailer for a week, refused to leave until she saw the footage herself. They let her watch the clips, let her see that frame, where her father stood 1 second and was gone the next. She didn't cry, just asked one question. Where did he go if there's nowhere to go? They didn't have an answer. The company ruled it a remote disappearance, blamed disorientation, fatigue, even age. But those who worked with Ronald knew better. He didn't get lost, he didn't run. He saw something, and whatever it was, it made sure he couldn't tell anyone else. 2 weeks after the incident, a backup hard drive arrived by mail, no return address. Just a postmark from a small depot town 300 miles south. Inside, an unmarked USB stick containing a 20-second clip. A new angle, never seen before. It showed Ronald standing outside the generator shed, looking at something off-frame, not moving, not blinking. The snow around him wasn't falling straight. It twisted, lifted like something was pressing upward from the ground. And in the last frame, just before the video cut to black, there's a shape behind him. Tall, pale, like something caught between solid and smoke, and then gone. The video was sent to the authorities. It never resurfaced. The mine shut down that summer, no reason given. And Ronald's file flagged as incomplete. Still no death certificate, still no grave. But every March 12, his daughter lights a small lantern, places it outside and whispers, "If you can still see the light, you can still find the door." Thank you for sitting with us tonight, for remembering Ronald Blake and all the ones who disappear without sound, without reason, and sometimes without warning. If this story left you with a chill, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who's ever worked alone in the middle of the night. We post stories like this every day, of the quiet ones, the steady ones, and the ones who never come back from their final round. Take care of yourself